But that really, I guess, shaped who I was. Because once Ben had me read Invitation to Lead, I kind of realized, like, how I see myself isn't healthy. How I think people see myself isn't healthy. How I overanalyze every single conversation I have with every single person in my life isn't healthy. Or every action that I see someone do isn't healthy. And that was my own toxic shame. I didn't believe I was worth being there. And when I went home a couple of weeks ago for a friend's going away party, I dug up some old diaries, and what was very repetitive about my diaries was, I wish I would die. I actually don't like those diaries anymore. So, like, for me, my toxic shame grows and grows with whatever lie I believe negatively about myself, of whatever lie I tell myself that I'm not worth it, I'm worthless, I don't matter to this world, I don't matter to this community. And it was incredible to see how that changed within the past couple of years, being in this fellowship and then now being on staff. One thing that sticks out the most to me in just my acceptance of Christ and my own self-reconciliation is that my family isn't supportive of my career. They won't even call it a career. They're just not supportive of what I do in the general sense of every time I go home or every time I talk to them, or even in the email my sister wrote me of, I don't think your choice in the job is respecting the family very much. They don't respect that sense of me. They don't support me in that sense. But at the same time, they support me in other ways that I actually would not have really realized without these past few years. Like right now, I am not fully funded, but I am living in Ann Arbor and I'm paying a very low rent. My dad's paying for my car insurance currently. He's paying for my school loans currently. He's paying for my health insurance currently. And for me, that is the blessing that God has given me of He has worked through, especially how I do my family. Because I was a very loud child. I was a very vocal and rude and disrespecting child. I questioned everything my parents said, and I chose not to follow a lot of things that they wanted me to do. And for them to still support me in other ways, if not giving me their blessing, for me it shows a lot that they love me for me. They love me for who I am, that I'm not worthless, that if they really didn't care, they wouldn't be supporting me financially in other ways. Or even when the other day I accidentally put windshield wiper in my brake reservoir and my dad had to pay for it. Like, those are the ways that I see my parents loving me and loving on me and taking care of me. And those are the ways that I feel that my own toxic shame, my own unhealthy shame of myself, is wrong, I guess. And it's just very skewed as well. So, is there one more slide? I don't remember.
One more, sure.
Sorry, is this slide 12? Or is there more slides?
Depends on what slide you're currently on.
Okay, we're on slide 12.
Because
I think there's one more quote.
I think there was a Bible snippet that was skipped. So I kind of stopped.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't remember.
I have one more quote that I don't think I read.
I'm sorry.
And so, okay, if you go past this one.
Oh, okay. Just tell me when to stop.
Yeah, oh, wait, go forward. Or go back home. Second to last. Sorry. I'm really bad at communication.
No, it's just that this thing.
The one with Stephen R. Tracy. Yeah, this one. So, in my intense, too much shame-based research, I thought this quote really sums up just the idea of shame of, thus the key to overcoming shame is more than simply learning to love and accept oneself. It is to discern God's perspective on one's shame and guilt, and to let his perspective drive and reshape one's thoughts, actions, and ultimately one's feelings. I believe that a lot of what I believed 4 years ago about myself, I would still believe. A lot of my relationships with friends would still be there, and they would be incredibly unhealthy at this point. And a lot of how I viewed my parents and interacted with my parents would be there. If it wasn't for God really working in just the ways I saw myself and the ways that I viewed myself. And so I wanted to take this time for you guys to really reflect and think about what ways you have been ashamed, and what ways people have shamed you, and just anything that God has really placed on your heart. And originally there was more to this, but I forgot colored Post-its, and so originally I wanted you guys to do an activity with green, yellow, and red Post-its of kind of like a traffic light of to write things on a green Post-it that you were really ready to let go and give to God. Things to write on yellow Post-its of what you're really struggling with and that you want to give to God eventually if you're not ready. And then on the red Post-its, things that you're aware of, but you're just not ready, period. But I didn't bring 3 colors of Post-its, but Denise has brought Post-its in general. So, I would like us to take a few minutes just to really, I guess, spend time with God to really see what He is bringing light to us, and what issues He has brought light to us. And then, if you are comfortable, I invite you to stick it on the board. Not for people to see what you wrote, but more so for you guys to pray for one another, and for you to just have the act of putting it there for God, even if you're not totally ready to go through the steps. But yeah, so just take a few minutes. I think they're going to play music. And then I will close us in